We are going to start with a brief review of Unit 1, which is the history and tools of oceanography. Some of these important contributors, just a quick review of them. Aristotle, credited with basically going in and starting to observe these marine organisms, labeling them as either a animal or a plant. Darwin sailed on the HMS Beagle. He was actually the staff scientist on board. So as the Beagle was going around and charting the shorelines, Darwin was on board. He was collecting specimens. He was starting to note behaviors and adaptations that he saw amongst the animals that he observed, eventually leading to him being coined the father of evolution and writing his books. Ptolemy, credited with creating the first world map, which was a huge advancement for the time. I understand we had no satellites, we had nothing to go and base off of this except for what ships had gone around and actually charted on the coastlines. And then Posidonius was actually credited with recording that ocean depth. So he took a couple different large fishing ropes, he dropped them down into the bottom of the ocean with weights on the bottom, started to pull them back up, saw how deep the ocean was. Ended up being some issues with that when we start thinking about what we know about the physical components of water and how wind and waves and tides actually affect depth. So Posidonius started recording ocean depth, not as accurate as the sonar that we have today. Going on, Amerigo Vespucci, credited with actually, quote unquote, discovering South America. So remember that there were already natives in these particular areas. Amerigo Vespucci just set out from Europe and actually landed on the eastern coast of South America. Matthew Maury, coined our father of oceanography, is credited with writing the first marine science textbook, Physical Oceanography of the Sea. John Harrison was credited with creating the first marine chronometer, so an accurate way to tell time out at sea. And then Ferdinand Magellan is credited with circumnavigating the globe. We know, of course, we talked about this in class, that he did not actually make it. His fleet, however, did. So he was the leader of the fleet that first circumnavigated the globe. All right, a few moments just to kind of talk about fields and careers in oceanography. So physical oceanography, just the study of waves and tides. Chemical oceanography, the study of things like pH and salinity and temperature. Marine geology, the study of the seafloor and all the features that come with it as a result of movement of plates. Marine biology, just the study of our living organisms. And then marine engineering falls within the same category when we start talking about human impact as well, so how we are using the oceans to our benefit. A few tools in oceanography that we talked about, ROVs, so remotely operated vehicles, AUVs, autonomous vehicles, and then HOVs, human operated vehicles. So we talked about the ROV Jason, which discovered the Titanic. We talked about a few AUVs, which were used to find the missing Malaysian flights. And then the HOV Alvin was the one that went down and explored the hydrothermal vents. Our big newer technologies is our TOPEX Poseidon. So these are our two satellites that were put into orbit in 1992 and actually gave us the most accurate global tidal maps to this date. They also started kind of studying some of these major weather patterns like El Nino and La Nina. Sonar we talked about, so sound navigation and ranging. And this is just when we send out sound signals, they hit the surface, they bounce back up to the transmitter, and they are recorded. And this is how we started to actually see seafloor spreading, all these different features on the bottom of the ocean floor, and led us to kind of the technology and the advancements that we have today in regards to knowledge of what's down there.